In this video, we're going to look at the nervous system. We're going to cover an overview of the nervous system, then we'll look into a little bit more detail in the two parts of the nervous system, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And then we'll look at receptors and sensors and how they're picked up as stimulus from outside the body. As we said in the previous video, the nervous system is one of the ways in which the body sends messages and controls and coordinates the systems around the body. And it works very fast. And it depends on which nerve it is, how fast it is, and it works. But generally, nerves travel, or a nervous impulse travels along a nerve at about 100 meters per second, so quite fast. As I said previously, there's two parts to the nervous system. We have the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord, and it's a control center. It can actually make decisions. It can, once receiving messages from a stimulus, it can make a decision about what the response to that stimulus is going to be. A lot of this happens in the brain, especially higher order functioning happens in the brain and in different parts of the brain. But some decision making does occur directly in the spinal cord. So a signal will come into the spinal cord will make a decision and send the response back down through the nervous system. So the central nervous system is the control center. The peripheral nervous system is all the other nerves around the body. There's a vast network of interconnected nerves, so they're all linked to each other at many different points, and its function is to bring information, or two parts, to bring information from outside the body to the spinal cord, to the central nervous system and the brain, and then once the central nervous system and brain actually make their decision as the control center, to then send that message back out to wherever that decision is going to have effect. So whatever is going to actually cause that to happen. Now we're going to look a bit about the different senses. And from primary school, you know that we have 5 different senses. You've got sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. So these are in general, that is correct. However, they're picked up by receptors. Okay, a receptor is something that responds to stimulus from one of these things, whether it's touch or light or whatever it is. And those sensors are made up by a whole heap of different types of receptors. They have general classes, but there's different ones that go towards different sensors. So touch is a joint between mechanoreceptors, which receive pressure and give information on pressure, and thermal receptors, which give information on heat of something, so that you can both tell something is hot and that it is smooth or hard. Photoreceptors respond to light, and we've got 2 types of photoreceptors, rods and cones inside the eye, and they respond to different types of light, to different colors of light. Acoustic receptors are in our ears, and they respond to pressure waves or sound waves, giving us the sense of sound. Smell comes from olfactory receptors, which are found in our nose and nasal cavity. And taste comes from receptors on the tongue called sympictive receptors. And there's a few different types of those for the different types of taste. So in this video, we've looked at the nervous system, which moves messages around the body very quickly at 100 meters per second. We've talked about the central nervous system, the control center, consisting of the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system, consisting of all the other nerves that do 2 things. They either take messages from the outside to the central nervous system or take messages from the central nervous system to effectors. And we've talked about the sensors and the different receptors that are involved in each of the 5 senses.